Are your legs feeling weaker, shakier, or more tired than they used to be? Does climbing stairs feel harder? Standing too long leave you exhausted? You might think, it's just aging. But what if I told you, weak legs after 60 aren't just natural aging? They are a loud warning from your body, a warning that, if ignored, could cost your independence, mobility, and even your life. Stay with me, because today I'll reveal the 5 silent culprits stealing your strength, and show you exactly how to rebuild it before it's too late. Reason number 5, silent muscle loss, the stealthy thief called sarcopenia, the hidden catastrophe within aging bodies. When people think about aging, they often imagine the obvious: wrinkles, thinning hair, maybe a slower memory. But inside your body, something far more sinister often goes unnoticed, until it's too late. It's called sarcopenia, and it's been labeled by many geriatric experts as the single greatest underdiagnosed cause of disability in seniors. Dr. Roger Fielding, a world-renowned researcher at the Jean Mayer USDA Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging at Tufts University, said it best: sarcopenia is not just a cosmetic issue. It is the foundation of frailty, loss of independence, and premature death. Fielding R.A. et al., 2011, Current Opinion in Clinical Nutrition and Metabolic Care. What exactly is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is the progressive, degenerative loss of skeletal muscle mass, strength, and function associated with aging. According to a seminal paper published in The Lancet, Cruz-Gentoft, A.J., 2010, muscle mass declines approximately 38% per decade after the age of 30, and this rate accelerates markedly after the age of 60. That means by your 80s, without proactive interventions, you may lose 30% of 50% of your peak muscle mass, and with it, much of your balance, strength, and resilience. This isn't about vanity. Sarcopenia affects life and death situations: standing from a chair, catching yourself from a fall, walking safely across a room. In fact, studies have shown that sarcopenia increases fall risk by over 2.5 times. Landy F. et al., 2012, Journal of the American Medical Directors Association. Warning signs: sarcopenia is already robbing you. Noticeable thinning of thighs and calves, feeling heavy-legged after short walks, difficulty standing up from chairs without pushing with arms, early fatigue even after light activity. Real story: Martha's turning point. I recall a patient, Martha, a spirited 72-year-old retired school teacher who lived for her garden, planting flowers, tending to her vegetables. These were the simple joys that colored her days. Over time, though, Martha noticed subtle changes. Bending over left her unusually exhausted. Rising from a kneeling position seemed monumental. One spring afternoon, while planting tulips, Martha tried to stand and collapsed into the flower bed. Her legs simply failed her. A DEXA scan, a diagnostic imaging test for bone and muscle mass, revealed severe sarcopenia. Her muscles had quietly withered, losing almost 35% of her lower limb muscle mass compared to 5 years earlier. But here's the beauty of biology. When given the right stimulus, the body, even in its 7th or 8th decade, can rebuild. Martha began a carefully supervised program: resistance training 3 times per week, high-protein, anti-inflammatory diet, daily walks, even when they felt hard. 8 months later, she sent me a photo. Martha, beaming, standing proudly next to a 6-foot-tall sunflower she had grown, unaided, on her own 2 strong legs. Deep dive. Why does sarcopenia happen? Multiple mechanisms collide to create muscle loss after 60. Hormonal changes, decreases in anabolic hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, blunt muscle protein synthesis. Mitochondrial dysfunction. Aging muscles suffer from mitochondrial decay, reducing their ability to generate energy efficiently. Short K.R. et al., 2005, Journal of Clinical Investigation. Chronic low-grade inflammation. Inflammaging. Elevated cytokines like TNF-I and IL-6 subtly erode muscle fibers over decades. Neuromuscular decline. Loss of motor neurons leads to muscle fiber death and shrinking muscle units. Thus, sarcopenia is not a single process but a complex storm, hormonal, inflammatory, neurological, metabolic, that batters the aging body silently. Scientific strategies to combat sarcopenia effectively. 1. Daily strength training, resistance exercises. Dr. William J. Evans, one of the pioneers in aging research, emphasized, resistance exercise is the most effective known intervention to combat sarcopenia. Evans W.J. 1995, Journal of Gerontology, Medical Sciences. Focus on simple, functional movements. Chair squats builds thigh, hip, and core strength. Resistance band leg presses enhances lower body power safely. Wall push-ups strengthens upper body without stressing joints. Toe raises keeps calves and balance system sharp. Start slow, but be consistent. Even 15 minutes daily rewires muscle memory and prevents loss. 2. High-quality protein intake. Protein is the raw material for muscle, but the quantity and quality matter, especially after 60. The European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism, ESPEN, recommends older adults should aim for 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram body weight daily to prevent sarcopenia. Deutz NEP et al. 2014, Clinical Nutrition. Best sources: wild-caught salmon, omega-3 and protein-rich. Pasture-raised eggs, organic Greek yogurt, grass-fed poultry. Lentils and chickpeas for plant-based strength. 3. Movement throughout the day. The worst enemy of aging muscle? Prolonged inactivity. A landmark NASA study found that just 10 days of bed rest in healthy older adults led to more muscle loss than a decade of normal aging. Cortobine P. et al., 2007, JAMA. Movement doesn't have to be intense. Walk after meals. Do standing heel raises while brushing your teeth. Take the stairs when possible. Stretch during TV commercials. Ultimate key takeaway. Every time you sit still for too long, sarcopenia tightens its grip. Every time you move, no matter how small, you reclaim your strength. Reason number 4, poor circulation, the hidden saboteur in your legs, peripheral artery disease, PAD. The silent starvation of your legs. Imagine a river that once flowed strong and clean, now choked by debris. The water slows. The life along the banks withers. That's exactly what happens inside your body when circulation falters, especially after age 60. And often, the legs are the first to show the signs of this hidden disaster. The medical term for one of the most dangerous forms of poor leg circulation is peripheral artery disease, PAD. What is peripheral artery disease? PAD occurs when atherosclerosis, the buildup of fatty plaques inside the arteries, narrows or blocks blood vessels, particularly those supplying your legs and feet. Without enough oxygen-rich blood, your leg muscles suffocate slowly during exertion, leading to pain, weakness, cramping, and eventually tissue death if left untreated. In fact, according to the American Heart Association, AHA, 2021, more than 8.5 million people in the United States suffer from PAD, most of them over age 60, and it significantly increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and amputations. PAD is not just about pain. It's a powerful predictor of systemic vascular disease. As the eminent vascular specialist Dr. Joshua Beckman of Vanderbilt University states, PAD is essentially coronary artery disease of the legs. Where there is plaque in the legs, there is almost always plaque in the heart and brain too. Ignoring PAD doesn't just threaten your legs, it threatens your life. Real story. George's battle with the invisible enemy. George, 68, a proud grandfather of 3, loved fishing more than anything. But slowly, something began to change. He noticed his calves tightening painfully after just a few minutes of walking. He brushed it off as just old age. He rested more, walked less. Until one morning, George awoke to find his big toe blue and cold to the touch. A vascular ultrasound revealed severe PAD. His main arteries were over 80% blocked. He underwent emergency revascularization surgery to save his foot and perhaps his life. Today, George religiously walks after every meal, has given up smoking completely, and follows a strict anti-inflammatory diet. He still fishes and says each step he takes now is a gift he almost lost. The deep science, why circulation fails after 60. Several biological and lifestyle factors collide to cause PAD, atherosclerosis progression. With aging, LDL bad cholesterol particles penetrate artery walls, triggering inflammation and plaque formation. Endothelial dysfunction. The endothelium, inner lining of blood vessels, loses its ability to dilate properly due to oxidative stress and low nitric oxide production. Cellar Major DS, 1997, Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Systemic inflammation, inflammaging. Chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates artery damage. Smoking, diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. These factors triple or quadruple the risk of PAD. Clinical evidence. How dangerous is PAD? A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, Hyatt WR 2001, found Patients with symptomatic PAD have a 5-year cardiovascular mortality rate exceeding 30%, higher than many cancers. Another study, the Framingham Heart Study, revealed people with PAD are at triple the risk of death from heart attack or stroke compared to those without PAD. PAD is a silent killer hiding in your legs, crying out through pain, cramps, and heaviness. Signs your legs are starved of blood, pain, or cramping in calves, thighs, or buttocks during walking, claudication. Legs feeling heavy, tired, or weak after standing. Coldness in one lower leg or foot, especially compared to the other. Numbness or tingling. Slow healing wounds or ulcers on the feet or toes. Shiny skin, hair loss on legs, weak pulses in feet. Science-based strategies to boost circulation naturally. 1. Daily walking therapy. You might assume rest is best. It isn't. The landmark Clever study, Treat Jacobson D. 2011, Circulation, showed that supervised walking programs improve walking distance and quality of life more effectively than even angioplasty in many PAD patients. How to walk smart. Walk until mild to moderate discomfort. Rest briefly. Walk again. Repeat for 30 to 50 minutes total daily. This triggers collateral circulation. Your body grows new blood vessels around blockages. 2. Heart-healthy anti-inflammatory diet. Eat for your arteries, omega-3 rich fish, salmon, mackerel, lower triglycerides and inflammation. Leafy greens, nitrates promote nitric oxide production for vessel dilation. Berries, nuts, olive oil. High in anti-inflammatory polyphenols. Avoid trans fats, refined sugars, and excessive sodium. 3. Smart supplementation, under medical supervision. Citrulline malate boosts nitric oxide production better than arginine. Schwedhelm E. 2008, British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology. Coenzyme Q10 protects mitochondrial health and arterial elasticity. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium into bones, not artery walls. Magnesium, essential for endothelial function and muscle relaxation. 4. Lifestyle changes. Quit smoking. Smoking triples the risk of PAD. Manage diabetes meticulously. High blood sugar devastates arteries. Control blood pressure and cholesterol. Every small improvement matters. Stay hydrated. Blood viscosity thickness worsens with dehydration, straining circulation. Ultimate key takeaway. Your legs depend on rivers of life, blood vessels, to carry oxygen and energy. Keep the rivers flowing, and your legs will carry you anywhere you dream to go. Reason number 3. Nerve damage. The hidden fire beneath your feet. Peripheral neuropathy. When the body's wiring fails, imagine trying to send an urgent message down a frayed, damaged wire. The signal stutters, fades, sometimes never arrives. Now imagine that wire is your body's nerves, the highways that connect your brain to your muscles. When nerves deteriorate, the results can be devastating. Numbness, burning pain, muscle weakness, balance loss. This slow burning breakdown is called peripheral neuropathy, and it's one of the most underdiagnosed causes of leg weakness after 60. As Professor David S. Bennett, professor of neurology at the University of Oxford, emphasizes, peripheral neuropathy is often silent in its early stages, but its effects compound with time, leading to devastating disability if not recognized and addressed. Bennett DLH et al. 2014, Lancet Neurology. What is peripheral neuropathy? Peripheral neuropathy, PN, refers to damage to the peripheral nerves, the nerves outside the brain and spinal cord that transmit motor, sensory, and autonomic signals. Types of neuropathy in seniors. Sensory neuropathy, numbness, tingling, pain. Motor neuropathy, weakness, cramps, loss of coordination. Autonomic neuropathy, issues with blood pressure, digestion, and bladder function. Scientific insights, how nerve damage develops. Multiple culprits conspire to sabotage nerve health with age. Diabetes mellitus. Chronic high blood sugar damages tiny blood vessels, vasa nervorum, supplying the nerves. Vitamin deficiencies, especially vitamin B12, crucial for myelin sheath integrity. Oxidative stress and inflammation. Chronic inflammation, inflammaging, produces free radicals that attack nerve cells. Neurodegenerative diseases. Conditions like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's often have overlapping peripheral nerve damage. Medication toxicity. Long-term use of chemotherapy agents, statins, and even certain antibiotics can induce neuropathy. According to a comprehensive review in the Lancet Neurology, England J.D. et al. 2014, approximately 1/3 of individuals over 65 show electrophysiological evidence of peripheral neuropathy, much of it subclinical. Real story, Anne's courageous recovery. Anne, a graceful retired ballet teacher at 74, first noticed tingling in her toes, just a nuisance at first. She chalked it up to poor circulation. Over months, her symptoms worsened. Tingling turned to numbness. Walking on uneven surfaces felt treacherous, like balancing on marbles. Then one rainy evening, Anne misstepped off a curb, fell, and fractured her hip. Medical evaluations revealed severe sensory-motor peripheral neuropathy caused by undiagnosed type 2 diabetes and a long-standing B12 deficiency exacerbated by years of heartburn medications, proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole. Anne's story was tragic, but it became triumphant. With aggressive blood sugar management, high-dose methylcobalamin B12 therapy, physical rehabilitation, and consistent nerve-stimulating exercises, she regained much of her strength and balance. Today, she teaches gentle chair yoga classes for seniors at her community center. Early signs of nerve damage you must not ignore. Tingling, burning, or sharp pains in feet or legs. Numbness or dead feeling in the feet, feeling like you are wearing an invisible sock or glove. Balance problems, frequent tripping or falling. Muscle weakness in the legs or feet. Increased sensitivity to touch or temperature. Deep dive. Why diabetes and vitamin B12 are so dangerous to your nerves. Diabetes-induced neuropathy. High blood glucose leads to accumulation of sorbitol and advanced glycation end products, AGEs, inside nerve cells. These compounds disrupt normal nerve function and blood supply. Dr. Aaron Vinnick, a renowned neuropathy researcher, explained, diabetic neuropathy is a metabolic catastrophe, a combination of hyperglycemia-induced oxidative stress, ischemia, and inflammation. Vinnick AI 2013 Journal of Diabetes Research. Vitamin B12 deficiency. B12 is essential for methylation, a biochemical process crucial for maintaining nerve health and myelin sheaths. Even mild B12 deficiency can lead to demyelination and irreversible nerve damage. Older adults often absorb B12 poorly due to reduced stomach acid. Medications like metformin, omeprazole, lansoprazole. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, Allen LH 2009, stated up to 20% of adults over 60 may have marginal to frank vitamin B12 deficiency, much of it undiagnosed. Powerful strategies to protect and heal your nerves. 1. Master blood sugar control. Aim for fasting glucose under 100 mg per deciliter. Target HbA1c around 5.5 to 6% if possible without risk of hypoglycemia. Adopt low glycemic anti-inflammatory diets rich in leafy greens, wild salmon, nuts and seeds, berries, olive oil. 2. Replenish vitamin B12 and key nutrients. Prefer methylcobalamin form B12, active and bioavailable. Daily intake recommendations: 1,000 mg sublingual B12 for seniors at risk. Combine with folate, B9 and P5P active B6 for synergistic nerve protection. Sources of natural B12: grass-fed beef liver, eggs, wild-caught fish. Fortified nutritional yeast for vegans. 3. Gentle nerve-stimulating exercises. Balance training, standing on one foot, heel-to-toe walking. Sensory retraining, walking barefoot on textured surfaces, safe environments only. Leg massage and rolling, stimulate sensory nerve endings. 4. Smart supplementation if advised by physician. Alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, a potent antioxidant shown to reduce neuropathic pain and improve nerve blood flow. Ziegler D. 2004. Diabetes care. Benfotiamine, vitamin B1 derivative, protects against hyperglycemia-induced nerve damage. Magnesium glycinate supports nerve relaxation and muscle health. Ultimate key takeaway. Nerve damage isn't just a fate sealed with age. It's a condition you can recognize early, fight fiercely, and often heal significantly with the right actions. Reason number 2, spinal problems, the hidden saboteurs of your leg strength, sciatica and herniated discs. The spine, where true leg strength begins. Your legs may be the engines that carry you, but your spine is the control tower. When the spine suffers, when discs herniate, nerves pinch, or the spinal canal narrows, it's your legs that pay the price. Weakness, numbness, pain, even sudden collapses. Dr. Michael G. Failings, professor of neurosurgery at the University of Toronto and a world authority on spinal disorders, once said, "Aging of the spine is inevitable, but disability from spinal aging is largely preventable with early recognition, targeted intervention, and spinal health literacy." Failings MG, 2010. How spinal problems steal your leg strength. Several spinal issues converge as we age. Disc degeneration and herniation. The intervertebral discs, once plump and shock-absorbing, dry out and weaken, making them prone to bulging or rupturing, pressing on nearby spinal nerves. Spinal stenosis. The spinal canal narrows, compressing the spinal cord and nerve roots, particularly in the lumbar, lower back region. Spondylolisthesis. One vertebra slips over another, disrupting spinal alignment and nerve flow. Facet joint arthritis. Wear and tear on the small joints of the spine leads to stiffness, inflammation, and nerve irritation. The deep science: why spinal issues cause leg weakness. Your lower spine, lumbar region, houses the nerve roots that form the sciatic nerve, the longest and largest nerve in your body. If any structure, disc, bone, ligament, presses on these nerve roots, it disrupts the signal between your brain and your leg muscles. The result? Loss of motor strength, loss of sensation, poor coordination, unpredictable collapses. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine, Atlas S.J. et al. 1996, found lumbar disc herniation with nerve root compression causes weakness in specific myotomes, muscle groups, corresponding to the affected nerve level, often leading to functional disability if untreated. Translation: specific spinal injuries cause very predictable leg weaknesses, and without treatment, they worsen steadily. Real story. Harold's triumph over a compressed spine. Harold, 70, a lifelong carpenter, began noticing something strange. While walking across his workshop, his right leg would suddenly give out, as if it momentarily forgot how to support him. There was no pain at first, just unpredictable weakness. Over months, he developed aching pain radiating down his right thigh and calf, classic signs of lumbar radiculopathy, sciatica. An MRI revealed severe L4-L5 disc herniation, compressing the L5 nerve root. Surgery was discussed but postponed. Instead, Harold started a rigorous conservative program: specific spinal decompression stretches, core strengthening to offload the spine, postural retraining. Today, Harold hikes 2 miles every morning, pain-free, with legs that feel solid and steady under him. Early signs: spinal problems are weakening your legs. Pain radiating from lower back to buttock, thigh, or calf. Classic sciatica. Leg weakness, particularly when climbing stairs or standing on tiptoes. Numbness or pins and needles, sensation in the feet or legs. Feeling of one leg being heavier or weaker than the other. Lower back stiffness that worsens after sitting but eases after standing. Science-based strategies to heal and protect your spine. 1. Specific spinal stretches and mobility work. Knee to chest stretch. Opens up space between lumbar vertebrae. Piriformis stretch relieves pressure on sciatic nerve. Pelvic tilt strengthens deep core stabilizers. Gentle stretching 2-3 times daily can significantly reduce nerve pressure without surgery. 2. Core strengthening. Your spine relies on muscle support. Much like a tall ship depends on strong rigging. Dr. Stuart McGill, Professor Emeritus at the University of Waterloo and world leader in spine biomechanics, states, the best way to prevent and treat low back pain and associated leg weakness is to build a resilient core through safe, strategic training, not random sit-ups or crunches. McGill S. 2007, Low Back Disorders. Recommended core builders: Bird Dog Exercise, Modified Side Plank, Dead Bug Movement 3. Posture correction and ergonomics. Sit smart. Use chairs with lumbar support. Avoid slouching. Move often. Stand, stretch, and walk every 30 minutes. Optimize sleeping posture. Sleep on your back or side with pillows supporting spinal alignment. 4. Targeted weight management. Excess abdominal fat, visceral fat, increases spinal loading dramatically. Losing just 5 to 10% of body weight can reduce spinal inflammation, ease mechanical compression on nerves, improve walking endurance. 5. When to seek medical or surgical help. Progressive leg weakness. Loss of bowel or bladder control, emergency, cauda equina syndrome, intractable pain, not responsive to conservative measures. Sometimes surgical decompression, laminectomy, discectomy can dramatically improve leg function if done timely. Ultimate key takeaway: strong legs start with a healthy, supple spine. Guard your spine as fiercely as your heart, because when the backbone weakens, so does everything else. Reason number 1: electrolyte imbalance, the invisible spark behind muscle strength. The hidden chemistry, keeping you on your feet. Every time you take a step, stretch a leg, or simply stand tall, there's an invisible orchestra inside your body making it happen. An orchestra of minerals known as electrolytes. These charged particles, primarily potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium, regulate every muscular contraction, every nerve signal, every heartbeat. When the balance falters, your body falters too, especially your legs. As Dr. Ron Maugan, professor of sports nutrition at Loughborough University, aptly states, electrolyte imbalances are the hidden villains behind many seemingly normal symptoms in older adults, especially unexplained fatigue, weakness, and muscle dysfunction. Maugan R.J. et al., 2004, Clinical Nutrition. What are electrolytes and why do they matter? Electrolytes are minerals that carry an electrical charge and are essential for nerve conduction, sending signals from brain to muscle, muscle contraction and relaxation, fluid balance inside and outside cells. The two most critical for muscle strength and function are potassium, K+, magnesium, Mg2+. The deep science, how deficiencies weaken your legs. Potassium's role. Potassium creates the electrical gradient necessary for muscle contraction. Without enough potassium, muscle cells become irritable, leading to spasms, cramping, and weakness. Magnesium's role. Magnesium acts like a natural calcium channel blocker, preventing excessive muscle excitation. It ensures smooth, coordinated muscle relaxation after contraction. It also stabilizes nerve function and blood vessel tone. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, Rosenoff A. et al., 2012, emphasized, subclinical magnesium deficiency is common among older adults and increases susceptibility to hypertension, arrhythmias, muscle dysfunction, and frailty. Why electrolyte imbalances are common after 60. Several reasons converge. Reduced dietary intake. Older adults often eat fewer potassium and magnesium-rich foods. Medications, diuretics, water pills. For hypertension, flush out potassium and magnesium. Proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, lower magnesium absorption. Chronic diseases, diabetes, kidney disease, heart failure, alter electrolyte handling. Dehydration. Thirst sensation diminishes with age, increasing risk of volume depletion. Real story. Bill's awakening to mineral power. Bill, 77, prided himself on staying active. But out of nowhere, he began waking at night with violent leg cramps so severe they left him breathless. Doctors first blamed aging, then circulation, then arthritis. It wasn't until an astute internist checked his serum potassium and magnesium that the answer emerged. Critically low potassium, 3.1 millimoles per milliliter. Magnesium at the lower borderline. Bill's culprit? A thiazide diuretic prescribed months earlier for blood pressure, without electrolyte monitoring. After adjusting medications, supplementing magnesium glycinate and potassium-rich foods, Bill's cramps disappeared, and his energy soared back. Today, Bill says he feels 10 years younger and walks 2 miles every morning. Symptoms of electrolyte deficiency you must not ignore. Sudden leg cramps, especially at night, muscle weakness or heaviness, shaky legs during movement, numbness or tingling, heart palpitations or irregular beats, extreme fatigue or lethargy. Clinical evidence. How critical are potassium and magnesium? Potassium research. A 2017 meta-analysis published in BMJ found that higher potassium intake reduces the risk of stroke by 24% and improves muscle performance. Magnesium research. A 2014 review in Nutrients concluded, magnesium supplementation improves muscle performance and reduces risk of sarcopenia in elderly populations. Dominguez L.J. et al., 2014 Nutrients. Healing through nutrition. How to rebuild your mineral power. 1. Boost potassium intake naturally. Top potassium sources: avocados, bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, white beans, salmon, yogurt. Daily target: 300-400 mg day for men, 2,600 mg day for women. U.S. National Academy of Medicine, 2019. 2. Restore magnesium reserves. Top magnesium sources: almonds, pumpkin seeds, dark leafy greens, charred spinach, dark chocolate and 70% cacao, quinoa, black beans. Daily target: 420 mg per day for men, 320 mg day for women. Prefer magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate for better absorption. 3. Hydrate intelligently. Sip small amounts of water consistently throughout the day. Avoid waiting until you feel thirsty. That's already too late. Add a pinch of unrefined sea salt to water if sweating heavily under doctor's supervision. 4. Monitor medication effects. Ask your doctor if any of your medications, diuretics, PPIs, blood pressure drugs, might be depleting your electrolytes. Regular blood tests for serum potassium, serum magnesium, kidney function can catch imbalances before symptoms erupt. 5. Epsom salt baths for magnesium boost. Boost Epsom salts. Magnesium sulfate absorb through the skin and can gently restore magnesium levels while relaxing muscles and reducing cramping. Pro tip: 2 cups of Epsom salt in a warm bath, 2 to 3 times per week. Ultimate key takeaway: your strength isn't just in your muscles. It's in the minerals silently powering every step, every lift, every move. Replenish them daily and watch your vitality return. Weak legs after 60 are not a life sentence. They are a wake-up call. Today we explored the hidden dangers of sarcopenia, poor circulation, peripheral neuropathy, spinal degeneration, and mineral imbalances, and most importantly, how you can fight back naturally. By applying these proven tips, you can rebuild your leg strength, prevent falls, and enhance your mobility, even into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Share in the comments, which action will you start today to strengthen your legs after 60? Subscribe now for more expert advice on leg strength recovery, senior fitness, and healthy living after retirement. Don't miss our next guide on building bone density naturally, because your best years are still ahead.